In this video lesson, I'm going to talk about harmonics. Now, I was originally just going to talk about natural harmonics, but then I started thinking to myself, well, if I talk about natural harmonics, I'm probably going to need to talk about artificial harmonics. And then I thought, well, if I talk about artificial harmonics, I really should cover pinched harmonics as well. And then I thought, well, if I cover pinched harmonics, I've got to include tapped harmonics, haven't I? And then it all got a bit out of hand. So basically, I'm going to cover all of them. So what is a harmonic? Well, let's demonstrate by playing an open A string, okay? When I play the open A string, what you're hearing is called the fundamental. It's the loudest sound that you're hearing. But what you're not hearing are the harmonics or the overtones that are contained within that note as well. I can demonstrate that by playing natural harmonics to start off with. So if I just place my finger over the 5th fret and literally over the fret, and we will go over this in more depth in a little while, so fret not. Anyway, if I place my finger over the 5th fret, and I mean the actual metal fret on the fretboard, and lightly touch the string, very, very lightly, and then just pluck the A string as normal, that is a natural harmonic. So when you're playing the open A string, that natural harmonic is also sounding out, but you don't hear it because you're hearing the fundamental, or the first harmonic, which is the loudest sound. Hopefully that makes sense. Anyway, let's dive into some technique. So let's start off by looking at natural harmonics. Now, natural harmonics occur on the 5th, the 7th, the 12th, the 19th, and if you have a 24 fret guitar, they'll appear on the 24th fret as well. So let me demonstrate again, just placing your finger lightly over the actual fret on the 5th fret, for example. So we're going to start with top E and work our way down onto the B, the G, the D, the A, and the bottom E. So starting at the top E, just lightly touching over the fret there. That's the natural harmonic over the 5th fret, a nice sort of chiming sound. Let's go up to the 7th fret and again do the same thing. Up to the 12th fret. Up to the 19th. And then it's a bit of a stretch, but the 24th fret. So let's have a look at artificial harmonics. So, as I said, natural harmonics occur at the 5th, the 7th, 12th, 19th, and 24th frets. So if we artificially moved the nut of the guitar, which is here, by placing our finger on the fretboard at the 3rd fret, sort of creating an artificial nut or a bar, if you will. So my index finger is fretting all the strings on the 3rd fret. We've now created an artificial nut at the 3rd fret, which will move all the natural harmonics up 3 frets, because we're on the 3rd fret here. So instead of 5, 7, 12, 19 and 24, I'm going to show my terrible grasp of mathematics here. It will be 8, 10, 15, 22 and 27. Thank you very much. For example, let me demonstrate. Natural harmonics occur on the 5th fret to start off with, and because we've made an artificial nut at the 3rd fret, we add 3 plus 5, which is where the first natural harmonic would appear. So we're going to pick the 8th fret. Now the technique of picking a natural harmonic is place your finger again over the fret that you want to produce the harmonic from. So in this case, it's the 8th fret, which is here. And I'm going to lightly touch it with my index finger, and I'm going to use my thumb to pluck the string while my index finger is touching over the 8th fret to produce the artificial harmonic. So with my left hand, I'm fretting down on the 3rd fret. My index finger is over the 8th fret, and then I'm going to use my thumb just to pick that note. Now we can move up another string to A, and we can do it with the A string, the D string, the G string. Again over the 8th fret. So, as I said, with natural harmonics, we can produce natural harmonics at the 7th fret, but because we've moved the nut artificially up 3, instead of producing harmonics at the 7th fret, they'll now be at the 10th fret. So again, just lightly touch the string above the 10th fret, and with your thumb, pluck the note. And of course that applies to the 12th fret, which would now be the 15th fret, because of we're fretting the 3rd fret here. So up on the 15th fret. You get the idea. I mean, obviously we could go up to the 22nd fret. And then we kind of run out of frets, basically. So the artificial harmonic technique is wherever you're fretting, that's your new nut, as it were. So if we're on the 3rd fret, instead of 5, 7 and 12, it will be 8, 10 and 15. And that also applies if you're fretting chords or bar chords as well. So if we play the G major chord, we're basically fretting 3, 5, 5, 4, 3, 3. So that would mean, let's add on 12 to each of those. So 12 plus 3 is 15, 12 plus 5 is 17. So it's 15, 17, 17, 16, 15, 15. So we got to 15, we can pick that note there. That's the artificial harmonic. And up to 17. And again on the D string, 17. 16 on the G. 15 on the B. And 15 on the top E. So there are the artificial harmonics produced from the G major bar chord. Just one more time. So it's 15, 17, 17, 16, 15, 15. And of course you can move that bar chord shape up wherever you like, but you must artificially pick either 5, 7 or 12 or 19 or 24 frets higher than where you're actually fretting. So for example, we could, with the bar chord, we could fret 7 frets higher than here. So instead of 3, 5, 5, 4, 3, 3, it would be 10, 12, 12, 11, 10, 10. The next harmonic we're going to look at is the pinched harmonic, or the squeal harmonic as I like to call it, because if you've listened to a lot of rock and metal music, you will probably recognise this technique. It sounds a little bit like this. So how do we get that squeal? Well, it's a combination of playing the note aggressively and the side of your thumb, as bizarre as it sounds. So on the 7th fret of the G string here, I'm playing an aggressive downstroke across the string, like so. And as the plectrum's passing over the string and beyond the string, the side of my thumb is literally just lightly touching the string, and it's that light touch that produces the squeal. So I'm not really playing the note. Playing the note would sound like this. I'm kind of pushing down a bit harder than that and letting the plectrum kind of skip across the string, as it were. And as it skips across the string, the side of my thumb is just glancing the string, which, like I say, produces that squealing sound. Okay, the final technique, which is very advanced, so don't worry if you don't get it, is a bit of a tribute to Mr. EVH, who obviously sadly passed away recently. It's tapped harmonics. Listen to any Van Halen album and you'll hear a shed load of tapped harmonics. And it's basically quite similar to an artificial harmonic. So whatever note you're playing on the fretboard, we're going to add on 12 frets to that note to produce the harmonic. So that's kind of the new location of the harmonic, for example. So let's look at the 7th fret of the G string. If we add on 12 frets, we're looking at the 19th fret. And I'm going to tap the fret with my index finger on my plectrum holding hand. And that's all I'm going to do. So it's a little bit like an artificial harmonic where you're placing your finger over and pulling the note out with your thumb, but we're not using our thumb. I'm literally just tapping down on the 19th fret. So again, left hand is on the 7th fret. And I'm going to play this note and then tap down on the 19th fret. Hopefully you should hear that harmonic sort of singing out after I tap it. And same with the D string on the 7th fret. And the theory still applies if you're bending a note as well. So if we bent the 7th fret up a whole step, I'm still going to tap the 19th fret because even though I've bent the string up a whole step to a new note essentially, my finger's still on the 7th fret, if that makes sense. So if I bend this note up, I'm still tapping the 19th fret because technically I'm still on the 7th fret. So like I say, it's quite an advanced technique, but so don't worry if you don't get it straight away, but the sort of basis around it is like artificial harmonics. So wherever you're fretting becomes the new nut. And then you're tapping either 5, 7 or 10 frets, 5, 7 or 12 frets higher from where you are. So we were on the 7th fret of the G string and I was tapping 12 frets higher, which is the 19th fret. 7 frets higher, which will be the 14th fret, works particularly well in this case. So 7th fret of the G string, we're playing the fundamental note. Okay, so that's harmonics covered off. We looked at natural harmonics that occur on the 5th, 7th, 12th, 19th and 24th frets if you have a 24 fret guitar. We looked at artificial harmonics where your fretting hand is creating a new nut and then you're fretting either 5, 7, 12, 19 frets higher than that. And you're placing your index finger of your plectrum hand over the fret and picking that string with your thumb to produce the artificial harmonic. We looked at pinched harmonics, which is one for rock and metal fans everywhere. And then finally, as a tribute to Mr. EVH himself, we looked at tapped harmonics. Now again, as I said before, apart from natural harmonics, they're quite advanced techniques, but I just wanted to kind of put it out there. Because when you listen to various albums, you will hear harmonics, whether they're pinched harmonics, or natural harmonics, or tapped harmonics. So if you're listening to an album and you think, what the hell is going on there? Hopefully now this would have cleared it up for you. If you have any questions at all about harmonics, leave them in the comments below. Make it nice, keep it clean, folks. And I'll see you in the next video.